of knowledge. So in the light of all these discussions, is it possible to redefine OER? We started out with certain definitions. Let's try. The phenomenon of OER, or open learning resources, which is a more generic term, is an empowerment process driven by technology in which various types of stakeholders are able to interact, collaborate, create, and use materials and processes. We are not simply stopping short at materials, which is content, but processes. And Professor Taylor flagged this about, assessment, pedagogic practices, etc., that are freely available for enhancing access, reducing costs, and improving the quality of education and learning at all levels. So what is the role of various stakeholders in order to promote the growth of OER movement? In specific terms, what roles can different actors play in ensuring that the stated objectives of OER are met? Let's begin with international organizations like my own, like the Commonwealth of Learning, UNESCO, others. I think one of the first things which we need to do is policy advocacy. And again, this was flagged yesterday as a leadership challenge. Recently, UNESCO and the Commonwealth of Learning had a policy advocacy workshop in 2 countries, in South Africa, in Cape Town, and in Namibia, in Windhoek, in which the vice-chancellors and heads of institutions in African and other Commonwealth countries were given some kind of an advocacy on OERs and why it's important for them to use OERs within their institutional processes. The other thing which international organizations can do is that we make these toolkits, we do all kinds of materials, and nobody knows what we are doing. So to harmonize our efforts to avoid duplication of effort, and finally, to support institutions and organizations to adopt a process-oriented approach to OER, not just content development, but to be much more process-oriented, as I've shown, because that's the only way for sustainability. Then what can national governments do? Many countries still do not have an ICT in education policy. That would be the first starting point, to provide an enabling framework for helping OERs to flourish. Propose a vision and strategy for OERs at all levels of education, not just higher education. And recognize OER development at par with academic publications to reward faculty in promotions. Because without incentives, nothing is going to work. No high-minded rhetoric is going to convert people overnight that, okay, now you give your free time and weekends on developing. There has to be some incentive. So what can institutions do? Institutions can also develop an ICT policy within the institution, which would actually incorporate a reference to OERs. Elaborate a policy on copyright. It's very important because we talked about, the other dimensions, but OERs are all about copyright, whether people have given you the permission to use them freely. Provide incentives for faculty members, such as increments and recognition of OER development towards promotions. And in the old days, when people were running dual mode institutions, in which they offer distance education, they used to make developing distance learning materials as part of the job requirement in advertisements. So can we do a similar thing and require, at the time of recruitment, to put OER as a job requirement? I mean, this is going a little far, but I think it's in the future possible. And with that, let me just show you, 2 of the things which Paul does. We have an information resource center where, and I've given you the address for that you can, if you need any help, you can access everything that Paul does is an OER or OLR. You can take all our materials free. And we have also done work in copyright, because this is something which many ministers and ministries found very difficult, that how do we deal with this whole thing of Creative Commons licenses, etc. So we've got a very simple guide to working in copyright, so do please access it from our website. All this is free. If you want paper copies, even those can be made available. But I would like to conclude by saying that OER can radically change the landscape of teaching and learning in the 21st century. OER can contribute to the creation of genuinely inclusive knowledge societies, but it is a process that takes time and effort, but I'm sure together we can do it. And with that,